Good morning everyone. Today we'll go for the very important structure or very important organ in our body. Okay, if you maintain this one, you have the no any diseases. Okay, any type of it may be physically or it may be mentally or it may be socially. Okay, if you want to maintain the health, you maintain this organ, you can sufficient for the maintain the health. This is a very important organ present in our body. Okay, if you maintain this, you maintain the world. Okay, if you have in the anything in the world or good thing or bad thing, it happens because of the this only. If any good thing happen in the world, it is because of this. Any bad thing happen in the world, it is very small but very dangerous thing in the world. Okay, if it is a today we'll go for the that structure or that organ, that is a tongue. Okay, it is tongue is very important thing. Okay, if you maintain the internal happiness and external happiness also, it is need the maintain the tongue. Okay, tongue is very important structure or organ present in the body. Okay, if you maintain that, regulate on that or work on that, it is you maintain the world, or you regulate the, or you capture the, or you have the all type of happiness and everything by the maintaining the this. Or any sorrowness or any unhappiness happen because of that not proper using of the this organ. If you use this organ properly, okay, you can have the you have the very socially have the good name, fame and everything. Okay, if you have maintained this one organ, okay, if you maintain it is properly, you have the everything. Okay, it is a one boneless okay thing is the boneless, and it is flexible, and it is a movable muscular organ. Okay, it is very important. You can maintain it very carefully. Okay, by health wise also, if you maintain this one in the food, during the food or during the drink or during the speech or any type, if you maintain this, you have the all type of health. You have the socially also you can have the good thing. Okay, okay, that is tongue. Okay, okay, today we will go for the anatomy of the tongue. Okay, the god Buddha is said that tongue tongue is a one thing. Okay, tongue like a is a sharp knife, it kills without it drawing a blood. Okay, another one say that slip of tongue is one of the reason of loss of sleep. It is very good thing, or it is a really what true thing. Okay, today we will go for the anatomy of the tongue. Before that, tongue is a one of the muscular organ present in the mouth. Okay, and it is most of vertebrates has the large trunk. Okay, and that tongue is it is manipulates the food for the mastication, and it is used in the act of swallowing. It has the important role in the digestion system or digestive system, and it is had the primary organ of a taste. Okay, and this tongue is has the two surfaces. Okay, one is superior surface, or you can say as a dorsal surface, or it has the upper surface. It is had the, or it is upper surface or dorsal surface or curved surface. It have the taste buds. Okay, and these taste buds are housed in the dorsal surface of the tongue, and they are present in the numerous lingual papillae, present as a numerous lingual papillae. Okay, and this is very sensitive and keeps the moist by the saliva, and it has the very rich blood supply and nerve supply, and it is also help in the naturally cleansing the mouth or oral cavity or in the teeth. The major function of the tongue is the produces speech in the human body and vocalization in the other animals. Okay, this is a very important function of the tongue, and we are the humans very careful to use this organ. Okay, and this is a one of the muscular organ, and it is covered by the this muscular organ is covered by the mucous membrane. Okay, but it is completely made by the muscular. Okay, and this is used in the mainly for the mastication purpose, during the swallowing, during the speech production, and during the what digestive. It is very have the very important function in the digestive system, and it is a primary organ of the taste. Okay, can go for the introduction. Tongue is the muscular organ situated in the floor of the mouth. Function is taste, speech, mastications, and deglutition. Okay, the tongue, it is a came from the in Latin. In tongue, actually tongue is a English word. Okay, in Latin it is say as a lingula, and in Greek it is say as a glossa. Okay, the tongue is a mobile muscular organ. You can also say as a it is a mobile muscular organ without bone. Okay, that can assume the variety of shapes and positions. Because of that, it assumes the variety of the shapes, because of our speech very nicely. Okay, it is partly in the oral cavity, partly in the oropharynx cavity. The tongue is divided into mainly two parts. One is anteriorly two-third, it is by the present in the oral cavity, and posteriorly one-third part present in the pharynx or oropharynx cavity. Okay, but it is present in the oral cavity or in the mouth. Okay, the tongue is involved in the mastication, taste, deglutition or swallowing, articulations by the during the speech, on oral cleansing. However, its main functions are forming the word during speaking, squeezing the food into the oropharynx, and during the swallowing. Okay, the functions of the tongue are mainly taste, speech, mastication, deglutition, barrier function, jaw development, thermal regulation, secretion, defense mechanism, maintenance of oral hygiene, sucking, and general sensitivity. Okay, now we can go for the parts of the oral cavity. Parts of the tongue. The tongue is mainly divided into three parts. One is by the apex or tip, body, and root. Okay, the most pointed part we can say as a tip. Okay, and most movable part of the tongue is say as a tip. Okay, body and root. Okay, the root, it is located between the mandible and the hyoid bone. Okay, this is a root. Okay, like this. This is a root. It is located between the, this is a mandible and this is a hyoid bone. Okay, this is a hyoid bone, and this is located in between the mandible and the hyoid bone. Okay, it is attached to the mandible and soft palate aboli. Okay, it is attached mandible and soft palate above, and hyoid bone below. Okay, and it is attached the tongue to roof of the mouth. Okay, it is attached to the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And another one thing, these attachments, which are the attachment, the antebrachial, mandible, and below the hyoid bone, everything. One thing is, remember that the root of the tongue is also attached to the body of the tongue. Okay, remember that the tongue root is intimately connected to the tongue of the body, or they are connected to the each other, so they affect each other. When the tongue root is doing something, this makes it easier for the tongue body, okay, to do certain things. Okay, and harder for it to do others, and vice versa. Okay, it is attached to the body of the tongue also. The root is attached to the body of the tongue, so that it affects the each other. Okay, when the tongue root is doing something, okay, that makes it easier for the tongue body to do certain things. Okay, if you, for example, it is root is moving one movement to drain or protect the what tongue outside. That same way, the same time, the body of the tongue also give the support to the protrusion of the tongue. If or it is going backwards or during the swallowing, okay, the root is moving towards the backwards, then that same way the body of the tongue is moving forwards, then there is no any type of the movement will happen. Okay, if you go in the hand to hand, then only there is movements of the tongue will happen. Otherwise there is no movements of the tongue will happen, because they are attached each other. Okay, the root of the tongue is directed backwards and connected to the hyoid bone. Okay, the root of the tongue is directed backwards and connected to the hyoid bone with the uh, hypoglossal and genioglossi muscles. Okay, and another one is and hypoglossus membrane also, and it is with it attached with the epiglottis by the three folds of the mucous membrane. Okay, this is the epiglottis. It is also attached with the epiglottis by the three folds of the membrane, and there is one depression also is there in between the root and epiglottis. That depression is say as a vallecula. Okay, a vallecula of epiglottis. This is the very important space, or this is the landmark for the intubation of the trachea. Okay, this is a vallecula in it is a means vallecula means it is a depression. Okay, or furrow in the something. The word meaning of vallecula is depression or furrow in the something. Valleculae of the epiglottis, it is an anatomical term for the depression or furrowing in the something. Okay, which is the space between the root of the tongue and the epiglottis, and forms the inferior border of the oropharynx. Okay, it forms the inferior border of the oropharynx. But root of the tongue, it is forms the anterior wall of the pharynx. Okay, when you consider the oropharynx, then this attachment is forms the inferior vallecula. It forms the inferior border of the oropharynx, and when you consider the pharynx, then it forms the anterior wall of the pharynx. Okay, another one, its root is attached to the what by the hyoid bone, hyoid bone and mandible and the soft palate, and mandible and the soft palate at the above and hyoid bone below, and it forms the roof of the mouth. And this root, okay, and these attachment, which attachment, mandible and hyoid bone, which attachments prevents the swallowing of the tongue. Okay, this attachments, it prevents the swallowing of the tongue. Okay, and this is root is, it is forming the front wall of the pharynx. It can really only do couple of interesting things. When is pushed forwards, thereby expanding the pharynx, and when is pulled backwards, thereby the constructing the pharynx. Okay, when it is pulled upwards forwards, they are expanding the pharynx. Okay, and pull backwards, it is narrowing the or constricts the pharynx. Okay, and root is located between the mandible and hyoid bone. Okay, and now it is a body. Body, it is a makes the anterior two-thirds of the tongue. Okay, and its body has the two surfaces, on the superior surface or dorsum surface or ventral surface or inferior surface. It forms the anterior two-thirds of the oral cavity, and it is rough surface due to the presence of the lingual papillae at the dorsum surface. Okay, and it is a mobile portion of the tongue. Body is mobile portion of the tongue, and it has a curved upper surface, and its body is has a curved, and it is dorsum surface, it is convex in nature. Okay, and it has a dorsum and ventral surfaces. Okay, it is the body of the tongue, it has the multiple papillae, four types of the papillae also, and it also has the taste buds in the body of the tongue only. And apex also, or tip, it is the most pointed point of the what tongue you say as a apex. Okay, and it is highly movable and rest against the incisor of the teeth. Okay, we can go for the next slide. You can see here, this is the tongue. Again, it has the three parts, mainly three parts: apex, body, and root, or it also say as the base of the tongue. And is the root, it is attached to the mandible and hyoid bone. Okay, and there is some depression between the root of the tongue and the epiglottis, that is say as a vallecula. This is the landmark for the what intubation. Okay, and root, okay, it mainly forms the anterior wall of the pharynx. It can really only do the couple of interesting things. Okay, and it is also attached to the body of the tongue. Okay, you can see here. Okay, like this, these are the root of the tongue. Okay, this is the body, and body of the tongue, it is curved or convex in nature, and it has the two surfaces: superior surface or dorsal surface or ventral surface. Okay, and apex, most pointed part, and present in the just behind the incisor tines, or rest against the incisor tines, and highly movable part. Okay, and is whole tongue is divided into two parts. One is the oral part. Okay, this is the oral part. It oral part or anterior two-third part is divided into body and apex, and pharyngeal part or posterior one-third part, it is say as a root of the tongue or base of the tongue. Okay, the further tongue is divided into mainly apex, body, and in that anterior two-third, posterior one-third, and the base. Okay, like that also we can divide the tongue. Can go for the next slide. Parts of the tongue. The root, it is located between the hyoid bone and the mandible. Dorsal portion sits in the oropharynx, attaches to the tongue to roof of the mouth. Body makes the upper anterior two-third of the tongue, rough surface due to the lingual papillae, surrounds by the anterior and lateral teeth. Mobile portion of the tongue, it also known as the apex. Okay, or tip, is also known as the tip. Okay, it is anterior one-third of the anterior tongue surface, rest against the incisor teeth, and highly mobile. Then root, it the attachment means hyoid bone and mandible and soft palate. These attachments prevents the swallowing of the tongue. In between these two bones, it is related to the genohyoid and mylohyoid muscles. Tip of the tongue forms the anterior free end, which lies behind the upper incisor teeth. Body has the curved surface or dorsum, that is convex. Body is a convex in nature, dorsum surface, and inferior, it is a ventral surface. It has two surfaces, one is dorsum and another ventral surface. Can see here in this picture easily. Okay, the whole tongue is divided into mainly three parts. Okay, in that tip, or apex, this is body, and this is the root. The posterior two-third of the tongue is from the root or base of the tongue, and anterior two-third it forms the body and tip of the tongue. Okay, you can see here how the root of the tongue is attached. This is the mandible, and this is the hyoid bone, and this is the soft palate. Okay, the root of the root of the tongue is mainly attached to the mandible and soft palate above and below hyoid bone. Okay, and this is the some depression between the, this is a tongue, root of the tongue, and this is the epiglottis, and this is the depression. Okay, or what you can say as a furrow. Okay, furrow, and this, or which is the space between the root of the tongue and epiglottis, and it is forms the inferior border of the oropharynx. Okay, it is forms the inferior border of the oropharynx, and this space is say as a vallecula, and this space is vallecula of the epiglottis, and this is the very important landmark for the intubation. Okay, this is the very important landmark for the intubation of the trachea. Okay, and this root is forms the anterior wall of the forming the front wall, so front wall of the pharynx, and it is has the some interesting things. Okay, when it is pushes forwards, it is thereby expanding the pharynx, and when is pulled backwards, thereby the constricting the pharynx. Okay, this is the like this parts of the tongue. Okay, relationship of the tongue. Okay, apex, it is related to the lower incisor teeth. Body, it is floor of the oral cavity. Root attached to the mandible and the hyoid bone, and lateral borders relate to the gums and tooth of the inferior alveolar processes. Okay, and the body or tongue has the mainly has two surfaces. One is superior surface or dorsum surface, and inferior surface and ventral surface. The superior surface is divided into three parts. One is anterior two-third part. It is also called as a oral part or anterior two-third part. Okay, posterior one-third part, or it is also say as a pharyngeal part. Okay, and base, it is say as a root. Okay, can in this picture you can clearly see that the root, okay, or anterior two-third. Okay, this is the anterior, this is a anterior two-third part, and this is the posterior one-third part. Okay, this is the anterior two-third part. It is present in the oral cavity. This part, anterior two-third part, is present in the oral cavity, and it is highly mobile and protrusible. Okay, and this it is denotes the body of the tongue. Okay, anterior two-third part connects the body of the tongue and apex, and posterior part, one-third part of the tongue, it present in the oropharynx, and it is less mobile and separated from the epiglottis by the valleculae. Valleculae is nothing but it is a depression between the root of the tongue and epiglottis. Okay, and these are the lingual tonsils, and this is the root of the tongue, and this is the palatine tonsils. Okay, and these are the further you can say as this is the one groove like structure. So you can say terminal sulcus or inverted V-shaped structure. Okay, this is nothing but you can say as the terminal sulcus. The terminal sulcus is nothing but it is a groove shaped groove. Okay, shaped structure. It is a groove that separates the tongue into superior oral surface and posterior pharyngeal surface. Okay, this is you can say as a oral surface. Body and the tip or apex is say as a oral surface, and above the terminal sulcus, it is say as the pharyngeal surface or posterior pharyngeal surface, or you can say as a root of the tongue, and it is the body and tip of the tongue. Okay, and this is a what terminal sulcus, it is a nothing but a it is a V-shaped groove that separates the trunk into superior oral surface and posterior pharyngeal surface, or oral part or pharyngeal part, or body and root of the tongue. Okay, and this is V shape. Okay, and foramina cecum. Foramina cecum is nothing but it is a small midline depression at the border between the anterior and posterior portion of the tongue. Okay, it is a small depression present in the midline depression at the border between the, this is the anterior oral tongue, and this is a posterior or pharyngeal tongue. Okay, this is body and tip, and these are the all present as the lingual papillae. Okay, these are the lingual papillae. And this what body of the tongue or dorsum of the surface of the tongue, it has this some these are the fungiform foliate and valate papillae, fungiform papillae, fishiform papillae. These all type of the papillae are present, and they have the taste buds. Okay, but these are lingual papillae are don't have the taste buds. Okay, the anterior two-third of the oral cavity is highly mobile and protrudable. Posterior one-third in the oral pharynx is less mobile, separated from the epiglottis by the valleculi. Now we can go for the next slide. The surfaces of the tongue. There are mainly two surfaces of the tongue. One is the dorsal surface and ventral surface. The further dorsal surface is divided into anterior surface and posterior surface. Okay, the top of the tongue or superior surface or dorsal surface has a V-shaped line known as a terminal sulcus. It is nothing but a screw-like a structure that divides the oral tongue superior surface and posterior pharyngeal surface. Okay, that V-shaped line known as a terminal sulcus that divides the tongue into the anterior and posterior surface. The anterior surface is made of apex at the tip and the body of the tongue, and or anterior two-third or oral part of the tongue, and posterior one-third part or posterior surface. The posterior surface is made up of interlip of the root. The inferior surface of the tongue, the underside, is also has made up of body and apex. Okay, dorsal surface. Okay, it is convex on all sides, divided by the V-shaped sulcus into two parts: oral part and pharyngeal part, or anterior two-third and posterior one-third. The apex of the sulcus terminus is marked by the foramen cecum. It is nothing but it is one depression. Okay, the dorsal surface is divided into two parts. Oral portion is covered with the keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, and pharyngeal portion it is covered with non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. And sulcus terminalis, okay, this is a V-shaped groove demarcated junction between these two parts, means oral portion and pharyngeal portion. Foramina cecum is initially developmental site of thyroid gland. It is very important. It is has embryological importance, that is it is developments of the thyroid gland, and is from there only thyroglossal cyst or lingual thyroids or everything you can see. Okay, you can see in this picture. Okay, this is the dorsal surface of the tongue, and this is the anterior two-third from V-shaped sulcus terminalis to anterior or forwards. This is the anterior two-third part of the tongue, and this is the posterior one-third part of the tongue. And this what are you see these papillae? These papillae are valate papillae or circumvallate papillae. They are present on the just anterior to the what sulcus terminalis. Okay, and these are the you can see as a here the lateral border of the tongue, and this is dorsal surface, and this is the tip. And dorsal surface contains the four types of papillae: one circumvallate papillae, or valate papillae, fungiform papillae, fishiform papillae, okay, foliate papillae. Okay, these are papillae present in the what dorsum surface of the tongue, and these papillae, most of all papillae are have the taste buds, and these lingual papillae, okay, or these are avoid of the taste buds. Okay, and this is the posterior one third part of the tongue. You can see here, this is the V-shaped groove. You can see this is nothing but the terminate sulcus, and you can see here one depression, that is say as the what is the foramen of cecum. These are the what valate papillae. These are the palatine tonsils, they are lingual tonsils, and there is another pharyngeal tonsil also can. Here you can see the tubular tonsils. These all these structure is say as a what forms the Waldeck sling. This is very important during the surgeries of the tonsils or tonsillar enlargement. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Okay, their superior surface or oral part or anterior or two-third part or body and tip of the tongue. Okay, there is compresses of a median furrow. Okay, the rough surface due to the presence of the papillae. Okay, this is dorsal surface or superior surface. This is rough because presence of the multiple papillae are surrounded by anteriorly laterally teeth and mobile part of the tongue. Okay, then posterior surface or pharyngeal part. Okay, this is lies behind the sulcus terminalis, no papillae, and shows the nodular surface and presence of lymphatic nodules and lingual tonsils that contributes to the anterior wall of the oropharynx. Okay, you can see here in this. Okay, the sulcus terminalis, behind that is posterior part of the tongue. Okay, or pharyngeal part of the tongue, and you can also say as a root of the tongue, and it is fixed part. Okay, you can see here dorsum surface of the tongue. It has the this is the what foramina cecum. This is the midline depression, okay, of the tongue that divides the anterior and posterior tongue. Okay, and this is the depression, and from this depression only there is the development of the thyroid gland will start during the development of the thyroid gland. Okay, and this is a V-shaped inverted V-shaped groove. You can say it is also divides the what you can say the oral groove, that groove V-shaped groove that separates the tongue into superior oral surface and posterior pharyngeal surface. Okay, this is groove is say as a sulcus terminalis. You can see here this is a V-shaped groove present. Okay, that separates the what posterior and or pharyngeal or oral or anterior surface of the tongue. Okay, and there is the some follicles are there. There are the lymphoid follicles or papillae. These are cells or lingual tonsils or lingual what can say papillae. Okay, and these are most of them they are lymphoids. Okay, and these are you can say that just anterior to the sulcus terminalis. Okay, these are some follicles are there or papillae are there. These are 8 to 12 in number, and these are just anterior to the sulcus terminalis, and these are look like a big mushroom shaped papillae. These papillae are say as a circumvallate papillae. Okay, circumvallate papillae, and they are the lateral border of the tongue. You can see the some leaf like papillae. Okay, these papillae are say as a foliate papillae. Okay, and you can say as a fungiform papillae. They are present body and tip of the tongue. These are most of time its name only denotes fungiform means mushroom shaped papillae. Okay, and filiform papillae. They are present in the what midpoint of the tongue, and these are pointed cone shaped papillae, okay, present in the tongue, and these are filiform papillae are divide of the taste bud. Remaining all which are circumvallate papillae, foliate papillae, filiform papillae, fungiform papillae, all are have the taste buds except the these lingual papillae. The depression between the root of the tongue and epiglottis, that depression or that space between the root of the tongue and epiglottis, that is say as a vallicula, and this vallicula is very important landmark for the intubation of the tongue, and this is the palatine tonsils. Okay, palatine tonsils. Okay, this is about the what dorsal surface of the tongue. Okay, now we can go for the ventral surface of the trunk. In ventral surface there is, okay, you can see the one longitudinal vertical fold, the fold of tissue. Okay, this is this fold is say as a frenulum. Okay, you already I will share in the different topics. Okay, frenulum of the tips, frenulum of the lip, frenulum of the cecum. Okay, in different contexts I say that frenulum means it is a nothing but a fold of a tissue. Okay, that main function of the frenulum, it is a restricts the movements of a respective organ. Okay, or respective what you can say structure. Okay, frenulum, it is nothing but another one is blood supply. Okay, this is a nothing but fold of the tissue, and that fold of the tissue that maintain or restrict the excessive movement of the respective organ. Okay, there is a, you can also here share in the tongue there is a lingual frenulum. Okay, also says a frenulum of the tongue. This is a longitudinal midline fold of the tongue. Okay, this is say as a frenulum of the tongue, and you can also say the some mucosal folds. Okay, lateral to the deep lingual veins and anterior lingual gland, and these folds are say these are nothing but the mucosal fold. These folds like this, these fold or like this fold is say as a fibrated fold or plica fibrated fold. Okay, you can also you can see in the some folds in the what you can say the sublingual ducts or major ducts. Okay, or sublingual ducts or sublingual gland, that fold is say as a sublingual fold. You can see here this is the sublingual fold, and this in this sublingual fold there opens the some ducts, greater sublingual guts or lesser sublingual guts. Okay, and in between the fibrated fold or plica fibrated fold and longitudinal frenulum, in between there you can say the deep inguinal artery or veins, or you can see observe see. Okay, these are about the ventral surface of the tongue. Okay, the lingual frenulum or trunk frenulum. Okay, it runs vertically from the floor of the mouth to the under surface of the tongue, that limits the movements of the tongue. The deep lingual vein on either side of the frenulum, the plica fibrata or mucosal fold on either side of the deep lingual vein. You can see here in this. Okay, this is the frenulum. Okay, lingual frenulum. These are the artery, deep lingual vein arteries, and this is the fold of the plica fibrata fold. And you can see here this is, these are the openings, duct, sublingual, major sublingual ducts, and these are the minor, and this is fold is as a sublingual fold. Okay, this is the sublingual fold. This is the longitudinal. Okay, you can see here in this is a lingual frenulum. This is the artery made of lingular, and this is fold you can say as a plica fibrata or fibrata fold. Okay, and there can be, this is a fold, you can say as a sublingual fold, and there is some opening you can see there. This opening is say as a major sublingual duct opening, and here it is a sublingual gland, and this sublingual fold folds the sublingual gland and opens the sublingual major ducts and minor ducts. Okay, then go for the next slide. Okay, some glands, mucosal glands are numerous in pharyngeal part but are also present at the apex. Serous glands of on Ibran are present near the test buds, and their ducts open mostly into the sulci of valate papillae, and their secretion is watery. Mixed glands lies in the ventral surface of the apex on either side of the frenulum, which are covered by the mucous membrane. I already explained in this. Okay, glands of Blandin and Nuhun, the anterior lingual glands, also called as apical glands, okay, are deeply placed seromucosal gland that are located near the tip of the tongue on each side of the lingual frenulum. They are between 12 to 25 mm in length, approximately 8 mm in width, and each opened by 3 to 4 ducts on the inferior surface of the tip of the tongue. Okay, you can see here. Okay, this is the lingual frenulum. Okay, this is the deep lingual vein and artery, and these are the folds. Okay, these are the mucosal folds. These folds are say as a plica fibrata, fibrate or fimbriate folds. Okay, and these, okay, and these are the sublingual folds. Okay, the overlying, these sublingual fold is overlying the sublingual gland. Okay, and these are the sublingual papillae. Okay, papilla crucata, a opening of the submandibular ducts. You can see a submandibular ducts, and this is the lower end of the frenulum of the tongue or lingual frenulum, and these are the sub opening of the ducts of sublingual gland. Which sublingual gland? Superior sublingual glands. Okay, here sublingual glands are present on either side of the tongue. Okay, this is the plica fibrata. It is mucosal fold of the deep vessels of the lingual vein and sublingual gland. Okay, superficial lingual gland. Okay, it is present on the tip of the tongue. Okay, inferior surface, the mucous membrane is a thin and loosely attached to the underlying surface of for the free movability, made up of non-keratinizing epithelium. Submucosa contain adipose tissue. Sublingual gland lies close to the sublingual fold. Mucous membrane is smooth and thin. Dorsal surface, it is made up of specialized mucosa. It is rough and irregular because of presence of numerous papillae. The dorsal surface of the tongue is a mixture of thin keratinized filiform papillae interspersed with the pink mushroom-shaped fungiform papillae. Okay, there are 4 type of the papillae. They are filiform, fungiform, valate, foliate, and papillae simplex. Okay, surface projections which can be only seen in under microscope. You can see here, these are the valate or circumvallate papillae. Okay, they are present just anterior to the terminus sulcus. Okay, sulcus terminalis. Okay, and these are the mushroom shaped, large mushroom shaped, and it is also have the taste buds, and these are the foliate papillae. They are present on the lateral border of the tongue, and they are posteriorly present. Okay, and these are leaf shaped. Okay, these are look like a leaf shaped. They are present on the either side of the tongue, and these also have the taste buds. Okay, and these are the fungiform papillae. Okay, these are present whole the body and tip of the tongue, and these are also fungi. It is name only denotes that the mushroom shaped. Okay, small mushroom shaped papillae is present on the tongue, and this is also has the have the taste buds, and these are the filiform papillae. These are the pinpoint projections on the tongue, and they are look like a cone shaped. Okay, and these are avoid of the taste buds. Okay, and there are lingual papillae also, they are avoid of the taste buds. Okay, you can see here also valid papillae are also named as a circumvallate papillae, or V-shaped row of circular raised papillae, about 8 to 12 in number, elevations in the V-shaped sulcus terminalis just anterior, location 2 to 3 2/3 of the way back on the tongue. They have many tiny taste buds. Palate papillae, clinically 7 to 15 large raised mushroom shaped structures anterior to the sulcus terminalis, microscopically mushroom shaped, sunken into tongue surface, taste buds in base, surrounded by the tongue, which have a on Ebran's glands mucosa. Function is taste. Then fungiform papillae. The fungiform papillae, location anterior 2/3 of the tongue, tiny round redder raised spot. They have the taste buds. Fungiform papillae, they have fewer mushroom shaped small red dots, microscopically mushroom shaped structures with a thin layer of keratinized epithelium overlying a core of lamina propria with taste buds in the most superficial portion. Function is taste. Filiform papillae, okay, they are present center of the body of the tongue, okay, and both side of the right and left halves of the tongue, okay, located remainder of anterior 2/3 of the tongue is covered with the tiny pointed projections, and they are look like a cone shaped, okay, known as filiform papillae. No taste functions, and they don't have the taste buds. Okay, the most common fine pointed cones, pointed structures with a thick layer of keratinized epithelium overlying a core of lamina propria. No taste buds. Function is mechanical. Foliate papillae, these are look like a leaf shaped, okay, located at the posterior lateral border of the tongue, roughness and fold tissue, fewer taste buds. 4 to 11 vertical ridges on the lateral surface of the posterior tongue, microscopically leaf-shaped structures of the keratinized epithelium overlying a core of lamina propria with superficial taste buds. Function is taste. Now we can go for the lingual tonsils. These are present on the posterior 1/3 of the tongue or posterior part of the tongue, okay, or root of the tongue. The structures one or more wide crypts lined by the stratified squamous epithelium, and these are have the lymphatic nodules. Okay, you can see here there is some tonsils are there. Okay, this is the lingual tonsils. Okay, these are palatine tonsils. Here you can see the tubular tonsils, and here is pharyngeal tonsils. All these tonsils are around surrounds the pharynx, okay, and forms the Walder's ring. This is very important during the surgery of the tonsils. Okay, and these what lingual tonsils are present posterior 1/3 of the tongue. Okay, this is the posterior 1/3 of the tongue. Here you can see the lingual tonsils and supplied by the lymphatic nodules. Okay, they may be enlarged. Okay, these are palatine tonsils. Okay, here you can see the tubular tonsils, and here you can see the pharyngeal tonsils like this. Okay, This is very important. Lingual tonsils are also enlarged. Okay, and these are make the difficulty during the swallowing. Okay, now I already explained that the tongue, it is a muscular organ. Okay, and it is without bone. Okay, that it is a muscular organ but is covered by the mucous membrane. Okay, because of that you can see that how now we can pinkish like that color, you can say that because of this. Okay, mucous membrane. Okay, the tongue is a mass of striated muscle covered with the mucous membrane. The muscle attached to the tongue to the styloid process and soft palate above and to the mandible and hyoid bone below. Okay. The tongue is divided into right and left halves by the median fibrous septum. Okay, this is median fibrous septum is formed because of these muscles. Because of in that mainly because of the extrinsic muscles. Okay, extrinsic and intrinsic muscles. Okay, these are two type of muscles. They are extrinsic and intrinsic muscle. Okay, the tongue is mainly what you can say made up of muscular organ. Okay, and it is attached to the above styloid process and soft palate, mandible and hyoid bone below. Okay, you can see here this is the styloid process here. Okay, this is a mandible and this is the hyoid bone. Okay, okay. Again in intrinsic muscles, they are present in the, they are no have the any type of the what you can say attachments to the bone. The intrinsic muscles, they don't have the any attachment to the bones. They are present inside the mucous membrane only. Okay, and these are four in number. This one is superior longitudinal, vertical and transverse and interior longitudinal. The main function of the these superior, vertical, transverse, interior longitudinal is movement of the tongue only inside the tongue. Okay, we can go for the muscles of the tongue. The muscles of the tongue is divided into two types, the intrinsic and extrinsic. The intrinsic muscles are restricted to the tongue only. They are not attached to the bone. They consist of longitudinal. You can see here in this picture, this is a longitudinal, this is vertical, and this is a transverse, and this is the inferior longitudinal. Okay, muscles, nerve supply by the hypoglossal nerve. Action, alter the shape of the tongue while it lies in the mouth cavity. Okay, this is the function of the intrinsic muscle. The intrinsic muscle, they are not have any type of attachment to the bone. They consist of longitudinal, transverse and vertical muscles. The origin by the median septum and submucosa. Okay, and insertion mucous membrane. Nerve supply by the hypoglossal nerve and function, the alter the shape of the tongue and the oral cavity is closed. Okay, or inside the mouth cavity only. This is about the intrinsic muscles of the tongue. Okay, can go for the next slide. There is four further muscles of the tongue. There are extrinsic muscles of the tongue. These are platoglossus, styloglossus, hypoglossus, genioglossus. With another one name, easy to remember. Glossus means tongue. Okay, in Greek, tongue is say as a glossus. Okay, which is attached to the hyoid bone, that is say as a hypoglossus. Which is attachment to the styloid bone, that is say as a styloglossus. Which is attached to the mandible, that is say as a genioglossus, and which is attached to the palate, that is say as a platoglossus. These are the four type of the extrinsic muscle, and their major of function of the extrinsic muscle is what you can say, the functions of the muscle, extrinsic functions of the muscle is elevation and retraction of the tongue, depression sides of the tongue, elevate the posterior tongue. Okay, like that the movements of the these extrinsic muscles. You can go for the next slide. Okay, you can see here this is the styloid process and this is the styloglossus. Okay, the origin of the this is the like this. Okay, this is the styloglossus. Origin of the styloglossus is stylo means styloid process, glossus means tongue. Okay, styloglossus means it is origin from the styloid process of the temporal bone. Okay, and it is insert at the lateral side and under surface of the tongue. Okay, styloid process of the temporal bone, insertion lateral side and under surface of the tongue. Then we can go for the hypoglossus. Hypoglossus is origin by the body of the hyoid bone. Okay, and insertion at the side of the tongue. Okay, you can see side of the tongue. This is the hypoglossus muscle. Genioglossus. Genioglossus is origin from the mental spine of the mandible. Okay, this is the mandible bone, mental spine of the mandible, and insertion under surface of the tongue. Okay, and palatoglossus from the soft palate and side of the tongue. Okay, the functions of the genioglossus. Okay, the function of the genioglossus is depresses and protracts the tongue. Okay, and styloglossus function is elevates and retracts the tongue, and hypoglossus function is depress sides of the tongue, and palatoglossus is elevate the posterior tongue. Okay, this is the functions of the these muscles. Styloglossus, it is depresses the side of elevates the and retracts the tongue. Okay, this is elevates and retracts the tongue, and genioglossus depresses and protracts the tongue. Hypoglossus, it depresses side of the tongue. Okay, these are the extrinsic muscles of the tongue. You can see here in this. Okay, this is styloglossus, hypoglossus, genioglossus. Okay, genioglossus function depresses and protract the tongue. Styloglossus elevates and retracts the tongue. Hypoglossus depresses the tongue. And go for the next slide. Blood supply. The blood supply of the tongue is mainly by the lingual artery. Okay, it is a branch of external carotid artery, and it supplies the most of the tongue. The main arterial supply is by the lingual artery. The lingual artery further has the three branches. They are dorsal lingual artery, deep lingual artery, and sublingual artery. The another blood supply by the tonsillar artery, or it is a branch of facial artery. Ascending pharyngeal artery is a branch of external carotid artery. They supply the posterior part of the tongue. Okay, the veins of the tongue from venous drainage from the tongue by the lingual vein is drained into internal jugular vein. The motor supply or nerve supply, all extrinsic and intrinsic muscles are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve except the palatoglossal muscle is supplied by the vagus nerve. You can see here in this picture, all intrinsic and extrinsic muscle are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve except the palatoglossal nerve, they are supplied by the vagus nerve. There is sensory supply. Okay, there is sensory supply mainly by the three nerves. Okay, general sensory sensation by the three nerves. Okay, the sensory supply, general sensory sensation by the three nerves: lingual nerve, anterior 2/3 of the tongue; glossopharyngeal nerve, posterior 1/3 of the tongue; and vagus nerve, posterior most part of the tongue. This is by the sensory supply. Then spatial sensory supply by the further three nerves: cauda tympani, glossopharyngeal, and vagus nerve. Then lymphatic drainage The apical vessels mainly drain into submental nodes and deep cervical nodes, apical vessels, and marginal vessels drains into the submandibular node and deep cervical node, and basal vessels drains into the deep cervical nodes. Okay. Now here I will forgot one thing, that is there are four primary tastes are there. One is salty, sour, sweet, and bitter. Salty is mainly senses by the tip and lateral border of the tongue. Sour by the side of the tongue. Sweet by the tip of the tongue, and bitter by the palate and posterior one third part of the tongue. There are four type of the taste mainly by the tested by the tongue. In that, salty tip and lateral border, sour side of the tongue, sweet tip of the tongue, and bitter palate of the posterior one third. Okay, and only another one is yummy. Okay, there is also a taste is there. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Now we can go for the applied anatomy of the tongue. In that, we can go for the congenital or developmental anomalies, and in that inherited. Okay, first you can say as a tongue tie or ankyloglossia. Okay, this is also one of the type of the anomaly present in the tongue. Okay, you can share in this picture. Okay, in that you can easily see there the shortened frenulum. Okay, it is forms the tongue tie, or you can use also say as a ankyloglossia. Okay, it is present in 1.7 population. Okay, the main clinical feature of this is ankyloglossia or shortened frenulum or tongue tie. It is speech defect and difficulty in cleansing the food away from the teeth. Okay, and breastfeeding will be problem also there in this case. The main management of this is surgical management is needed. In that, we just release the frenulum from the tip of the tongue. We hold the frenulum by the artery forceps, just release it. If bleeding is there, just tie it. Okay, this is the ankylosing or tongue tie. Okay, fissure of tongue. Okay, there is are the, this is another one, what you can say, grooved or fissures on the dorsum of the tongue. It is another congenital or developmental anomaly. Okay, this is maybe in sometimes etiology genetic, it may be psychological, it may be nutritional deficiency or chronic trauma also. Okay, incident in 5% of the population, and management is by the maintaining the tongue hygiene. Then macroglossia. Macro means big, glossia means tongue. Okay, macroglossia. This is big tongue. Okay, this may be congenital. In that, hemangioma, Down syndrome, lymphangioma, etc. Okay, or neoplastic also. Okay, and this is most common in children, mild to severe infants. Okay, and management, it is depend on the severity of the macroglossia. Okay, then micro means small, glossia means tongue. This is the microglossia. It is present of it is tongue is present, but is very small, and it is also near the surgical intervention. Okay, then aglossia means there is absence of tongue. Okay, there is completely absence of the tongue at birth. Okay, it is also near the surgical intervention. Okay, now we can go for the next slide. There are some disorders in the lingual mucosa. One is geographic tongue. This is the geographic tongue. Okay, these are present because of the some deficiency. Okay, some disorders. Okay, it is maybe irregular shape. reddish areas. Okay, this is etiology, maybe immunological reactions, allergic, okay, infections, etc. Okay, then hairy tongue. Okay, this is nothing but a hyperkeratinization of a filiform papillae, results in hair like appearance. Okay, it is say as a hairy tongue. Okay, there is hyperkeratinization of the filiform papillae. Then there is non keratinotic or keratotic white lesions in that candidiasis. Okay, this is infectional, and this is leukoplakia. Okay, these are the some disorders, and this is the squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue. Okay, there is do you know or not, I don't know. Okay, do you know a tiger's tongue is so stronger that it can remove the paint from wall and help to remove skin from flesh of its prey. Its tongue has been classified as the second most dangerous tongue after the tongue of woman. That much tongue of woman is strong. Thank you very much.